An independent report for the Home Office is blaming lads' mags, raunchy music videos and airbrushed models for giving children low self-esteem and unhealthy sexual aspirations. So, is it all too much too young? Or are today's children well-adjusted and mature enough to decide for themselves what they choose to consume? Joining us to discuss this issue, the founder of the Miss Teen Queen UK beauty pageant, that's Lena Perini, and Mal Fletcher, chairman of 2020 Plus, a social change and civic leadership think tank. Hello to both of you.
Morning, Chris.
Right, Lena, here we go. According to a children's charity and the Daily Mail, your pageant is a shop window for sex offenders. What's your defence?
Well, I'd like to first of all just talk about Kidscape, who are the children's charity that you're discussing right now. This is all in relation to a story that was actually featured in the Mail last May. First of all, I'd like to say that Kidscape were aware of what we were doing 4 years ago. When I set up this competition, we try to encourage young girls to understand the importance of charities and raising money for charities. And the first charity that we approached was actually Kidscape. And we asked them to get involved with us, wrote to them, had nothing back from us. They were actually aware of us 4 years ago, but only decided to come up and be anti us last summer. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we're doing anything wrong.
Sorry to interrupt you, but when some viewers, think of a teen beauty pageant, I'm sure a lot of them are thinking of these sort of, rather grotesque images from the United States of very young children dressed up to look like mature women. This is not your competition.
This is not what we do. Our competition is aimed at girls aged 13 to 19. We split it into two categories. We understand a 13-year-old is completely different to a 19-year-old. So we have a young category we call Teen Princess for 13 to 15-year-olds, and Teen Queen, which are the girls aged 16 to 19. The girls
I'm really sorry to interrupt, but is it true, if it's not, you tell me, but is it true that you were still putting down a 13-year-old girl's breast size?
No, I don't put that information down, and this again has been spoken about in the media on many, many occasions. When the girls, it's only the finalists, we have thousands of girls that are on our website a year that actually apply for the competition, whose photographs are posted on there. It's only the girls that make it through to the finals whose information is on there, so their achievements, their goals, their aspirations.
Come on, if a 13-year-old makes it to the final, their breast size is in there.
No, I don't actually put the breast sizes on there, and I'll be very clear on that. So what happens is the parents actually have to fill out a form online, and it has actually sections on there that will have cup sizes, chest size, waist, height, etc. They're not mandatory fields, and we do not put that information on there. So I think this is about parental choice. If I was the one that was putting that on there, I'd say, you know what, shoot me, I'm the messenger, and this is not a very, it's not a sensible thing to do, but it's not what I'm doing. And I think you can look at model agencies and say model agencies have young children with their statistics on there, but people don't point the finger at model agencies.
Right, Mal, sorry, a little bit carried away there. How has the sexualisation of children changed over the last sort of 10 to 20 years?
Well, I think that's the reason this Home Office review is so welcome, Chris. I think it's not just about organisations that target children, with advertising, for example, with girls dressed up, as miniature adults. It's also about the increasing sexualisation of culture generally. And it has grown over the last decade. Let's face it, the sexual lifestyle, sexual values, sexual behaviour, much more part of our open, visible cultural conversation than they were just 10 years ago. And whether we like
that from what? Is that from lads' mags? Is it from the internet? I mean,
it's a whole conglomeration of things. Certainly the internet is very seductive for young men in particular because it's so interactive. The gamers call it the architecture of participation. And games today are not just about games, they're about role-playing exercises. So if young men are immersing themselves in a world where women are, put down and treated as objects, they're going to find it hard to develop respectful relationships with them later on. So it's a many-faceted problem, but it is a conversation we need to have.
There is evidence then that young 12, 13-year-old boys playing certain kind of video games that actually they're not supposed to be because they're supposed to be 18 plus, then take the behaviour that they witness in that gameplay into the playground.
Yes, there is evidence of that, and what's more, where the young women are concerned, there's evidence that these sorts of games and advertising material that does target children leads them to an obsession with physical appearance, which in turn leads to things like eating disorders in some, but also, I have to say, not just eating disorders, but a lot of teenage girls and boys feeling that their bodies don't match up to the airbrushed image they see in magazines, pull out of sporting activities, and that leads to other health problems like obesity later on.
Lena, sorry, put your hand up there, clearly wanting to defend yourself again.
Not defend myself, I'm just thinking the whole, people talking about poor body image. I do agree that airbrushing, magazines should come with warnings, and not just for children. Grown women are looking at these images and aspiring to be like that and feeling inadequate. So yes, they should come with warnings. I don't think a tiny little bit of text at the bottom of a photograph is going to help. But people need to understand that these women maybe show real images, show them what they look like before airbrushing and after airbrushing. I think that's a bit more realistic. With regards to eating disorders, I don't think that images that girls are seeing in the media is actually going to cause them to develop eating disorders. I think much more girls are actually seeing perhaps their mother permanently on a diet, their mother moaning about her weight, and actually they'll pick up from that. It's not actually what they're seeing in that. I do think so. I have a sister who...
Not tabloid newspapers and magazines that constantly go on about, oh, look at the size of her now, and oh, she's been on the pies and whatever else.
But you also have to remember as well that an eating disorder is actually a mental condition. This isn't... And of course, if a child is drip-fed this all the time, I've read a worrying report that said that there are girls as young as 5 years of age that have anorexia. I can't imagine that. But I do think it comes down to, it's learned behaviour with children. So if children are seeing a healthy attitude towards food, diet, exercise, they'll learn that.
Because we're running out of time, just with your competition for kids who are under 16, are there rules about what they can wear in the photo shoot, the kind of poses that they take?
With regards to what they wear, if you look at the website, all the girls have jeans and a white t-shirt, or denim and a white t-shirt. Really not provocative poses.
Because again, the male was having a go at you.
Of course, and if you look at the photographs, and also you have to talk to these mums and say, did they feel uncomfortable with their daughter at the photo shoot? If they did, I'm sure I would have been closed down as a business quite some time ago.
Nice to talk to both of you. Very interesting. I'm sure lots of parents are very interested in those views. Thank you.
Thank you.